So you have people like Bobrisky coming out and saying, oh, when he met the pastor, he was a nice guy, he was nice to him, and today he's like, okay, apparently he's been attacked, and say just be quiet because you don't know what really happened, and then he's been going back and forth with someone like BC Alimi, I think, on social media today. Which, any which way, social media has been lit. Yeah, and then you also still have people like Dr. Joe Abba saying that they're going to contribute money and they're going to help. Allegedly, some 30 other women have come forward. I don't know if this is really true, if there are that many, but without a doubt, we have a few women that have come forward and on social media and have posted a few things saying that indeed it happened to them, or he tried allegedly. All this is all allegedly again, and that some of them were able to get away, and the church members intervened when one of the ladies reported to the church, and guess what, she was demoted or she was suspended from the church, and the pastor was pretty much let go to do whatever he wanted to do, allegedly again. And then you also have I love this. I like this one because there was an author, Odega Shower, that came for Reno Mockery, and he took him on, and I said I was going to read a bit of it because I thought that was really, really interesting what he wrote up. And like I said, other people have also been coming forward. Banky W, Ebuka said 2019 is the year when rapists start rotting in jail. Ebuka is lending his voice to it as well. So Dr. Odega says this, and I thought this was really, really interesting. He's saying this to Reno Mockery in response. He said, "Dear Reno Mockery, Oshe Chitpu Twale, thank you very much, Mr. Too Much Sense, Mr. Logician, Mr. Perfect Reasoner. You have dissected Busola Dakolo's story and came to the conclusion that her story, as we say in Nigeria, get comma, Abi. Her story should not be valid because according to you, it cannot be valid. Mr. FBI Forensics, dissector of rape cases involving Randy pastors and 16-year-old girls. Anyway, check that up. It's on the internet. Linda Ikeji did an excellent job covering this story yesterday, so big props to her as well. Fumi Yonda, Toke Makinwa, Stella Damasos, there's so many people that have really come out, and it's really refreshing. Genevieve, I'm really, really proud, that Nigerians are, it seems like we're getting it finally. I've always wondered why this Me Too movement never, why it never, took, force in Nigeria, and why we never picked it up. And you think back and you're like, okay, maybe it's probably because, one, we don't have a system where the women are believed. We don't have a police force that can actually, take it on. But then I spoke to a friend that works in the healthcare sector. Big thanks to all my friends and all my doctor friends and all my friends that posted stuff to me and sent me stuff. Big K, thank you so much for the story. And she said, actually, as a healthcare professional in Nigeria, in public sector, they are equipped with rape kits. They have everything. The government actually equips them with all this stuff. So if anyone is ever in that situation, the first thing I always say to them is tell someone, a trusted person, someone that can believe you, not someone that is going to be like, I'm judging you, someone that will not judge you, but someone that will actually believe you and can actually, because at that point, remember, you're a victim, you're traumatized, so you really need someone to confide in immediately. Do not have a shower if possible. Do not have a shower. Go to the hospital as soon as possible, because that's preservation of the evidence. That's what they say. Go to the hospital, and probably they'll probably do a swab, and I think it's called a safe. I think they call it a safe exam, which is, and it's usually done by professionals, because don't forget, this woman has just been traumatized. It could also be a man. Let's not say rape is just for women, and it could also be a child, which is sad, and they say, you have to have a professional, because someone that has just been attacked, you can't just go at her and just try to, and then you also have to get the police involved and get a police report, and then they'll take this to a pathology lab, and these samples can actually, if for nothing else, it's in the records, that this happened. And I'm really hoping that our police can actually begin to get trained and begin to understand that this is something that doesn't just affect a person once. It's not just sex. No, it's not just sex. It's not, it's something that can affect a woman or a man or any person's life for the rest of their life, because it can lead to a lot of things. There's depression, there's mood swings, there's instability, there's a lot of withdrawal. Then you have the blame game from the person. You're wondering, did I do something wrong? Was I in the wrong place at the wrong time? Did I wear something that was enticing for the person? And at the end of the day, once a woman says no, a no is a no, and then I also researched and I found out there's an I'll put the link down, and where it says that how to probably prevent it where possible. There's what they call the pre-prevention, which is like when you like in a dark place and you don't feel comfortable walking down a dark road, or if you're in a parking lot and you don't feel comfortable, as much as possible walk in twos, don't go alone, turn around, such things like that. And then there's another one I always, they say, is also self-defense and things like that, learning how to defend yourself, karate classes if possible. I know we don't have access to a lot of that, but where possible women can learn to actually fight and defend themselves. So those are all kinds of forms of primary prevention. I'll put the link to that just so we are learning. Like I said, we're not here to judge, we're not here to decide who did, who didn't do. We're just kind of like here to talk about it, which is the very first step. We're talking about it as a society. It's way overdue. The metoo movement has left us. We should have spoken about it, because this thing is so rampant now, whether it's in schools, in universities, people asking lecturers, asking students to sleep with them for marks, and it's just we just have to, whether it's trying to get a job, whether it's even in Nollywood, there's so much. It's just a mess, that men don't even know that even as little as hitting a woman's bum or even saying cat calls in the office are pretty much all part of sexual assault, and we need to begin to talk about it. So like I said to the lady, then of course later on the post, after you've done all that and you're able to get yourself, usually the doctor will follow through to you. They will ask to do tests to make sure you didn't get any STDs or any venereal diseases and all of that, so you'll be examined. And then if you want, you can either go civil or you can go criminal, depending on that different ways. Like with this case, I was looking up what the statutes of rape is in Nigeria and what the time limit for it, and I couldn't come up with a time limit, but I know in America there are many states, some in I think Alaska or Alabama, there's actually no limitation. So whenever someone is raped, even in her 80s, she can still come forward and take it to court or take it to trial and get a criminal. And then in some places it's 6 years, in some places it's 30 years. So I would like to know, it would be nice for us to get that clarity of what the statutes are for rape in a state like Kwara State, just to know if she can still come at him with any kind of whatever, or criminal or civil litigations are going to come. Anyways, Timi Dakolo says something which is what I would like to end with. He says, Christianity is telling the truth. Everyone is afraid of telling, and which I found really interesting. And he's saying to the pastor, sue me if you want, I dare you to sue me. And a lot of other people are like throwing their weight behind him. And Busola also said something that she's eventually getting there, but she has realized that this thing traumatized her. She didn't realize how traumatized she was, but she would take it out on other relationships. Like I said, it's something that we shouldn't take lightly at all, and they were saying, oh, maybe is it possible that women were throwing themselves at him as the pastor, and he's the one, because he's a bobo now, so he's trying to, but and there are allegations allegedly that some have had abortions for him, and there are stories after stories. And Busola was saying that why is it always him? Why there are so many other pastors, whether it's in Abu, but it's always seems like when they talk about it's always directed at him, and that some men of God have actually stepped in and have said, oh, that Timi should forget about it, and that the man, he has had some kind of penance or repentance, and he has had enough punishment. And I'm thinking, really? No. If you do the crime, you should be able to do the time, okay? Pastor or not. So I don't think he should get it. I don't think he should get a pass just because he's the man of God. Like I said, it's all allegedly. Nobody really knows. Like I said, nobody was there but them. But if he has confessed, and they can actually find some stories that can actually say indeed that he did confess to it, maybe she might be able to get something out of it. So anyway, let's get this discussion, you know, let's talk about this. Let's, you know, I want to hear what you guys think, you know. Don't come for me. I'm just keeping it real. All right. Thanks. Bye. See you soon.